Welcome to part 13 of the Deep Space Nine space station build-up. Some people could say that this is an unlucky number to have as an update, but hey ho, never mind, we'll push on through it. Hopefully nothing too bad will happen. We've got all of the docking ports finished off now. So these are the large ones, and there's 3 of those. And then we've got the 9 smaller ones that go around the model, so they're all finished. We've also got the antenna as well. They've been finished. They've been coated in the Tamiya black rubber, and then we've also got the 3 shield emitters as well that have been painted. These ones, as I say, will go on last. I don't want to put those on until the model's on the stand, but I just thought I'd show you the progress on those. Those I will be putting on shortly. And then if we just pan up to the model a second, and then just zoom in slightly. So we need to put the windows in that go around those edges, and also around the inside edges of the model. So hopefully that shouldn't take too long. And then if we just pan back out again, and we've also got the little mini-me Defiant as well, that comes basically in 4 parts. We've got the lower section there, and then we've got the facade scoops down that end, and then this is the upper section, and we've then got the warp engines at the rear there. I am going to try and light this up. It's going to be a little bit adventurous on this one, but we've got the warp core units on each side that need to be masked off, and then we've got the impulse reactor there as well that needs to be marked off. And then we've also got the little orange dots at the front there that we also need to do. I'm also going to try and get the 2 anti-collision beacons in at the top, and the one that's on there, and then the same on the bottom. We've got another anti-collision light that's around there somewhere, and then the anti-collision lights that are on either side there. And we also want to try and light up the facade scoops, and also the warp engines, and also the deflector array. And if possible, I'm going to try and get some windows in down the bottom there. I'm not sure how successful that's going to be, but I'm going to try and use some really thin masking tape to do that. I might need to cut that down a bit more. But what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to get all of the docking ports on before I do anything else, and the windows. Then I'll work on the little mini-me Defiant. The good thing is, if I can get the masking tape small enough for the windows on this, then I can use my big Defiant as the template as to where to put the windows on there. So we see how good that goes, and see how long it takes. But this will need to be completely matte blacked from the outside to begin with. I think I'll just put some white paint down first, then I'll matte black it, then I'll do a light grey primer over the top of that, and then I'll put the top coat on, and then hopefully I'll be able to pull the little masks off of the various little parts and let the light shine through. But we'll soon see what happens with that. So I'll carry on, get some more work done to the windows and the docking rings, and I'll be back to you as soon as that's done. Welcome back. This is Windows 101, and I'm not going to make you suffer as I do, so I will speed this up for you, but I thought I'd show you how how long it takes to do these windows. So here goes. And that is about it. That's how long that takes. Then we just need to take the mask off. Or should I say the photo etch, really. And it should hopefully reveal some nice windows. Just plug the power in. So yeah, most of those have lit up. I just need to go back in and deal with a couple that haven't quite made it. I can see a little pinpoint of light, and we just need to go back in and just readjust that. And that's that done. So that's how we do the windows. We just get in and see if we can get you a closer shot on that. Sorry, I'm just working the camera from a different angle than I usually do. So there you go. There's the windows. I'll be back in a bit. Back with you again for another update, and we've got success. All of the windows on the inside of the docking ring have been completed, and also down the spokes, so they're done now, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a shame I couldn't do them at hypersonic speed as I did in the last little clip there, but hey ho, never mind. That did make me laugh. So they're done. I've also got all of the docking rings in place now. And if we just turn the model this way, whoop, the power's still a little bit dodgy at the moment. There we go. You'll be able to see the docking ring in place on that side. So that's absolutely great. And then all we need to do now for this is get the antenna up there and the shield emitters on the little arms there. But they will be done last when the model is actually on the stand. I'd rather get those put on whilst the model's on its stand, and then I know I don't have to move this anymore. So that's about it for the for the station. So I'm now going to move on to the Defiant and hopefully see what we can do with the lighting on that one. So I shall be back with you once I've made some progress on that. Back with you for a quick update. So I've started working on the Mini Defiant now, and things are going quite well. I've started painting the parts on the inside of the kit. The main reason being is that I'm going to be putting masking tape on the outside, and I will go back in on the outside of it as well, and possibly put some more sort of transparent blue on those if they do need it. So it does look a little bit messy, but we just need to bear in mind that that's actually on the inside, so by the time I paint it you're only going to see the blue bits on there. And then we've also got the Bizarre scoops as well, and I've basically done the same thing to them. Painted those on the inside. And then we've got the upper section, that's had a bit of paint put on it as well. So if we see at the back there, just there and there, we've got the impulse exhausts. We've also got the warp reactors painted, and we've also got the sorry, excuse me, the impulse reactors painted. We've got the little orange dots in there as well for the, I believe they're the coils for the phaser cannons, I'm not sure. And then at the end there we've got the deflector painted as well, and I've also put the green on the inside there and the red on the other side for the navigation lights. I wasn't exactly sure where they would end up on the outside, so I just thought I'd paint the whole lot on the inside, and then that way we've got a good reference. And then what I will sorry, I put my teeth back in. What I will also do is, when I finally located them on the outside, is just put a little dab of the transparent paint on the outside too. So that's that done. I've also been working on the underside as well, and again we've got the let's put this in camera for you, sorry. We've got the impulse engines on each side, and again we've got the green for the nav lights, and then we've also got the red for the nav lights on that side as well. And the other thing I've been working on, now I'm not really sure whether you're going to be able to see the details on this, but I've been working on masking the windows off as well. There are no windows actually on this kit, so it's really all had to be done by hand and by eye. And I have referenced the Defiant that I have for the placement of the windows. They are roughly in place, in the right places. Now the windows are slightly, these windows are going to be slightly out of scale. I would imagine if this was to be scaled up, they'd most probably be the size of patio doors. So let's just hope that they're double glazed, because it's quite cold in space. And this is the masking tape that I've been using. This is there you go, you should be able to see that there. This is 0.4 millimeter. So you can imagine that I've actually been straining my eyes with that one. To light the inside, I'm going to be using the pure white SMDs for the anti-collision lights, and I'm also going to be using the sunny white ones for the rest of the cabin. And then they're going to be hooked up to 10k resistors, and all the wires will come out of that small hole there that's been drilled. And then once the wires are outside, I'll then hook up the resistors to them, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to get the resistors through that little hole. So that's about where I am at the moment. So as soon as I've made some more progress on this, I will come back to you. Richard back with you for another quick update. As you can see, we've started to make some pretty good progress on the little mini-me Defiant. We've got the 3 anti-collision warning lights in at the top and also at the bottom, and then we've also got some more SMDs on the inside, and that's the anti-collision lights are also the same underneath. Let's see if we can just turn this around without it going all over the place. So there you go, you can see there the other anti-collision lights that are in place, so that's fantastic. So this is just still currently jury rigged up at the moment, so I've just got to be a bit careful. We have got one SMD there that's not working at the moment, but that's because of the solder issue that I've got at the moment. I haven't sort of soldered them up properly at the moment. It's just jury rigged, so I can just test everything out, make sure that everything's okay. So I just turn the lights off. And there you go, that's what it's starting to look like in the dark. If we just turn that back round again for you. Oh, there you go, you see the lights, as I say, they are a little bit fragile, still at the moment. But that's what they're going to start looking like. So that's fantastic. All I need to do now is just mask off a few areas on the ship and then start spraying. So I'll most probably go ahead and get that done in the next day or so. I just do a little bit more testing on the lights and finalise the soldering so we can make sure that this one's working properly. So that's about it for the moment, guys. I will come back to you as soon as I got some paint down on it. Back with you for another update. Got some success on the model now. We've managed to get all the lighting in, we've got some paint on there, and we've also got some more of the clear Tamiya paints on there as well. So it's starting to look pretty good now. We've had a few issues so far in getting it to this point. First issue I had was with the SMDs for the windows and all the engines, etc. I was using 7 warm white SMDs running off of a 10k resistor, and I found that when it was connected to the power in the dark you could barely see the lights, which was a bit of a shame. So I moved that down to from a 10k resistor down to a 5.7k resistor, and you could still barely see the lights on the inside, which was a bit of a puzzle considering that when the model was still in its raw form without paint, there was a lot of light being transmitted around. So I then moved it down to a 2.5k resistor, and you could still barely see the light in there. So what I ended up doing was going back into opening the model again and then removing the SMDs, and I ended up putting the gold and white SMDs in there, the ones that I used for the floodlights on the pylons of the station. And it might sound a bit excessive, but I used 12 of them. And what I did was I bunched them up into groups of 4. So I had 3 groups of 4, and I then ran each group off of a 2.5k resistor. So we ended up getting the light that you can see there. The impulse exhaust there, they still need some work doing. I need to put some microcrystal clear in there because there are some gaps on the inside, and then once that's dried I'll then be able to put the clear red over the top. And then there's just a few light leaks that I need to go in and sort out as well. So it's not looking too bad at the moment. The other issue that I had was with the windows. Now I used the 0.4mm masking tape for those, and the windows were bunched up quite close together. Now unfortunately, after I'd finished spraying all the layers of primer and the top coat, when I removed the masking tape it actually ripped up some of the paint as well. Now unfortunately, due to the thinness of the gaps in between the windows, there was no way that I'd be able to replicate that with a paintbrush. So I had to scrap that idea. But the funny thing is, I'd actually previously ordered the decals from HDA Model Works, and this is what they look like. I'll just zoom the camera out. There we go. And this is what they look like. And as you can see in there, you've actually got the windows all around the sides there. So all I need to do is, once the decals are on and I've put the final layer of lacquer over them to protect the decals, I'll just go in with a very small drill bit on the pin vise and I'll just drill those out. And I'll also be able to do the same on the windows that are on this section at the top here as well. So that's actually a pretty good bonus. One of the other things that I have used as well on this is silicone HT. This is basically a black silicone for the automotive industry. It's basically used for cars in high temperature areas, like on the engines, etc. It basically helps stick everything together. And what I did do is I used that on the inside where we've got the navigation, or sorry, the anti-collision beacons. I'll just move the camera up so you can better see those. That's it. And then if we just zoom in, there you go. So on the inside of the anti-collision beacons, all I've done is I've used a splodge of that silicone sealant to actually help light block those. Now we are still getting a little bit of transmission of the anti-collision lights coming through the warp reactors there. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that because that's being transmitted through the plastic rather than through light leaks. So there's not really a lot that I can do about that, unfortunately, but it's not really that noticeable. So that's not too bad. So I've got a few more things to do. I just need to do some more tidying up around the edges on this model. There are still a few light leaks around the seams of the warp nacelles and around the front of the nose there. So I just need to get those sorted out before I can put the decals on. I need to give it a gloss coat as well before I put the decals on. So I'm going to call it quits on this update because I know the video is getting a bit long again. The only other problem that I have at the moment is there's a delay on my stand by a few weeks. I was hoping that the stand would be ready for me today, but unfortunately it's not. The person who's building it for me has needed to buy a specialised tool, and unfortunately that's not going to be with him for a couple of weeks now. So I would imagine it's going to be the end of June before I can actually put this kit to bed. So I will come back to you on this model, but as I say, it's most probably going to be the end of June before I do so. But until then, guys, thanks for watching, and please do take care.